Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2276, and Mike Matthews in Podcastro Valley today. Yes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
At Cafe Anyway. It's nice to be in Podcastro Valley. There's nothing against Podcastro Valley Mont, but today, here is where I want to be to talk to you today about stuff, because it's Mike's Daily Podcast show, and it gets a little rough, because sometimes, you know, we get a little Mike-ish.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
With the Mike Matthews. As much as I love sometimes using really nice equipment,
Mike's
this is the best.
Daily
When you are
Podcast
at Podcastro Valley.
Yeah!
Doing your show. And let's see, last show we talked about some new words. Some new words that we have added to the dictionary. We found out what they were and some little tips on how to stay cool using water, even if you don't swim. Some good tips for that. But today we dive into something that affects us all in some way. And that is, and it should affect us actually, and that is getting a compliment. Did I get to that point rather quickly?
No!
Yes. Well, there's all kinds of fun you can have on the water, on kayaks, the standing boards. I would love to do I've still never done the standing board thingy, when you're with the paddle. Standing paddle board, is that what they call it? That looks like it would be nice to do during the summer. And we are going to discuss how to get a compliment. Getting a compliment in today's world can be kind of difficult because, well, quite frankly, I haven't got one of those in a while. And we have a lot of us work for people that don't tend to give compliments out that much, although some.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Some will give you the nice GIF now and then, the little thing in the email with a little bit of confetti, congratulations, or good job, or attaboy. Unless you are, I guess attaboy has become universal no matter what you may really be and what you identify with and all that. Hey, you know what my cat identifies with? This cat loves a fake mouse on sort of this bungee thing. Yes, Basil, you would have loved this too, this mouse as well. This fake mouse. The late great Basil the boxer. Anytime I need to distract this cat, I just grab this thing and it's off to the races. The late great Basil the boxer. Okay, one quick thing here at the beginning of the podcast is that Podomatic, apparently, whom I have used now for 12 years, Podomatic is acting really, really strange. And it's one of those internet companies that you can't get a hold of anybody. Supposedly there's someone on standby checking stuff all the time. No. It's more like an Apple, more like a Google, where you can't get a hold of anybody, or a Facebook. Oh, somebody I know got shut out of his Facebook. Nobody helped him. He had all kinds of issues where he couldn't do any more posts because somebody had hacked his account, not because he had done a QAnon thing and gotten kicked off of the Facebook that way, but it was something a little more nasty. I think we may do a podcast picture of Rodler. We'll see. We'll check it out. I may or may not be able to do that because I have a picture here of Rodler with an actual bottle of Rodler beer. Because Rodler is a type of beer with lemonade in it. Germans like it. They call it Rodler. And so there is we found a bottled version of Rodler at Trader Joe's. And I put this bottle next to Basil, Rodler. And Rodler is kind of a cool picture. We may do that one or something else from Podcastro Valley. We'll let you know. Just check it out at mikesdailypodcast.com. You'll see that wonderful podcast picture every episode. We do a podcast picture. The rule of thumb when you receive a compliment is to simply and humbly say thank you, or thank you, I appreciate your kind words. I used to, whenever I met a celebrity, let's say I would interview a big country star. The country people tend to do this. The country singers would say, thank you, I appreciate it. Like that. That's how they sounded. Thanks. Thank y'all. Something like that. And the whole time, it would usually be a meet and greet with a lot of other people that were telling them how great they were. And I remember a meet and greet with Reba just before she got her show, Reba McEntire. And thank you for the compliment and accepting the compliment. You show gratitude for the other person's kind remarks and do not come off as vain, bashful, or prideful. Do share the compliment. If someone compliments you and your team, acknowledge the compliment and say that you will pass it along to those team members who helped you do the work or complete the process. Yes, this makes everyone feel good. Don't hoard the compliment and not give it to the people that deserve it. When someone raises a glass in a toast to you, the correct protocol is to nod your head and smile. Do not pick up your glass and drink along with the others following the toast. Yes. I don't think I've ever been toasted, but this is good to know. This is like patting your own back and complimenting yourself. When everyone has taken a sip, feel free to stand and offer a toast in return. Do be mindful of your nonverbal behavior. Watch your body language as you accept the compliment. Avoid crossed arms, that closed off bad nonverbal communication. Downcast eyes or overly casual postures that can send a wrong message or indicate disinterest. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. A lot of celebrities who get constant compliments, they'll fall into that. And then people later say, oh, so-and-so, he's just full of himself. He's not very nice. Lean slightly forward, look the giver of the compliment in the eyes, and smile as you say thank you. But do not get into a compliment battle. At times you may feel inclined to out-compliment or downplay your work, especially when a compliment comes from someone you respect and admire. This may be appropriate in Asia, but not in the U.S. Fight the urge to one-up someone's sincere praise. Don't say, thank you, but I know my input wasn't nearly as valuable as yours. Instead, embrace the compliment and be grateful for the accolade. One of the worst things you can do is deny a compliment. This can come across like a slap in the face to the giver as it negates their opinions and feelings. An example of this type of interaction might be, you look really nice today. Is that a new suit you're wearing? This old thing? I've had it for years. Yes, you've heard that over and over again. When someone offers a compliment, know that it may be coming from his or her or their heart. When you deny the compliment, it may seem as if you question their taste or insult their judgment, as in this example. You are one of the best speakers I've ever heard all year. Really? You must not get out much. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's not good. Has to come from the heart. And don't milk the compliment. To gracefully receive a compliment, try not to give a response that attempts to elicit reassurance, like, what makes you think that? Or, gosh, are you sure? Get more out of it. Whenever you receive compliments, entrepreneur.com says that these guidelines will help you. You may find yourself receiving even more compliments since your graceful acceptance gives both you and the giver great pleasure. Entrepreneur.com with that. Hey, do you like hiking? There's some impressive summits in this world. These are probably open right now. This article came out a few months ago. There may be some COVID restrictions with this new variant, along the Tennessee-North Carolina border is the Great Smoky Mountains. And one of my favorite YouTube video people, they're called Yankee in the South. They are constantly hiking around there and showing hikes that they go on. And they also show the restaurants they go to. I've talked about them before. They have some of the most, they always order the most unhealthiest thing. And it's like, yeah, that's what I would order. Thank you for eating it, because now I'm not getting the 2,000, 20,000 calories, whatever you're getting. But they do go on these nice hikes, so they're probably burning it off. And they go to some cool, interesting landmarks. But the Smoky Mountains, yes. The Rowan Highlands there. The topography features a series of rounded grassy balds cresting above 6,000 feet, making them some of the tallest peaks east of the Mississippi. Balds are beautiful. Following the Appalachian Trail north from Carver's Gap, there's a highest peak called Grassy Ridge Bald, whose summit offers otherworldly views of scalped Blue Ridge crests stretching to the horizon. There's also Wyoming has some beautiful peaks in Yellowstone National Park's Avalanche Peak. The strenuous yet popular 4.6-mile round-trip trail traverses a forest, passes a small meadow, ascends through dramatic talus slopes, and crosses a narrow exposed ridge line. There's also in Shenandoah, Virginia Shenandoah National Park, and that's west of Washington, D.C., about 90 miles. The Appalachians offer a blockbuster summit at Stony Man. And then there's climbing the dune. Climbing a mountain of sand is a demanding yet enjoyable experience. I don't know if I exactly agree with that sentence. Sand getting in your shoes, in your face, in your mouth. It sticks to you. Anywho, if you want to try, there is Pacific City, Oregon. There's a mass of soft powder, part of the Cape Kiwanda State Natural Area, that arises 240 feet above the sea, and despite being extremely steep, can be summited by anyone willing to endure a good old-fashioned muscle burn. The panorama from the top is impressive, with Pacific City's Crescent Beach and distinctive Haystack Rock, one of 3 sea stacks with that name along the Oregon coast. Oh, that'd be nice to get out there and take some podcast pictures of that. Well, if you're looking to visit some easier high points in Delaware, there's the Ebright Azimuth, Indiana's Hoosier Hill in rural Wayne County, near the town of Bethel. Nebraska has Panorama Point, that's at the state's southwest corner. And Florida actually has a hill. My mom jokes that there's no mountains in Florida. Well, not where she is in Daytona Beach, but apparently Britton Hill is the lowest state high point in the country at 345 feet. But you don't have to be too high to see an amazing view in Florida, because there's no mountains in Florida, basically. There you go. Was this an educational podcast or what? Look who's outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Hi, Mac. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you
What?
That little video you did on the YouTube that was like 10 seconds had you screaming that it's almost Friday. Well, today is Friday. Are you going to scream about that?
No. Oh, so today there's this guy. He's a lawyer. He does a show on the radio, and he's really good at what he does in the world of law. But his real dream is to be some kind of actor. And today on his radio show, he talked about how he would like to offer his voice, his vocal talents, to any organization who would like to use him as a voice actor. And I thought about that, and I thought, why? Because I've been doing the voice acting thing. Well, in radio, we do what we call, quote unquote, we cut a commercial. We're constantly cutting commercials, doing production, as we call it, and all kinds of other radio vernacular. And to me, it's just, I breathe, and that's my thing. That's my skill. I'm in my 50s now. I've been doing it since the 80s. And I guess I don't think anything about it. But then again, I've never practiced law. And to someone who spent his whole life doing law, he's got a bit of the bug to want to do commercial production. And that fascinates me. But do I want to do law? No. Would I like that paycheck that comes with doing law? Yes. Do I find law fascinating? I do sometimes. But that's a lot of reading. And a certain IQ that yours truly does not really have. So I'll stick to this. How about that? Doing the podcasting. But maybe I'll have this guy on my show someday. It'd be interesting to have him on and ask him some questions. Because we've all had to deal with legal stuff at one time or another. We always find ourselves getting wrapped up in it in some way. You can't be on this planet for that long and not run into some kind of legal issue at some point. Whatever it is. Oop, you crossed the street, but you didn't cross at the crosswalk, and now you just got a ticket from that police. Does that even happen anymore? People get jaywalking tickets anymore? In the Bay Area, I mean, people are walking out of Target stores with as much stuff as they can carry or put in a shopping cart. Heck, they steal the shopping cart too. I don't see where jaywalkers are getting fined anywhere, but there, that little side. Thank you, Disgruntled Fiddle Player, for sending me off on that tangent.
Yeah, now I regret it. Tell you what.
What?
You're done?
Yeah, except we got this guy.
Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now.
Thank you, Brewmaster. I think I'll have some right now.
Drink it or I'll cut you.
You know, you shouldn't be so violent. That's all I'm saying.
I make a delicious barbecue.
I'll have to come over this weekend and enjoy. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega and Valentino and the Bison Bentley and anybody else you would like to hear from, or if you'd like to chime in about anything we covered on today's show, or like to add your 2 cents or 5.5 cents or a quarter, you can give me a call. 336mm daily. 3 + 3 = 6. as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast has been now for quite a few days. I often get interrupted, but this week not so much. This is awesome. And to take us out and to find out more ways to contact the show, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!